All right, thanks, Mitchell. And as I mentioned, Tanner Law is joining us. And Tanner, I appreciate you getting up early this morning and bringing your guitar and spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, for those that don't know, I know you're from the area, Thompson Falls, now living in Missoula, and you went to school in Butte, Montana Tech.
Yep.
Played a little basketball.
Yep.
Engineering student, right?
Yep.
And so all of a sudden, all of that, and now music is your focus. How did that all kind of come about? Because I know music's always been a part of your life.
Yeah, no, I played saxophone in band growing up in high school and loved that, and did choir at Tech for a couple years, and just always loved music, especially country music, and started learning guitar my freshman year, mostly in Butte, and just started playing some gigs at the bars there and started paying for rent and groceries, and I started songwriting and kind of fell in love with the songwriting part of it mostly.
Well, it's got to be fun, especially today, because you have a song that's being released today, and in December you recorded in Nashville, and one of those songs is Aim to Please. Can we hear the song that's being released today?
Yeah, you guys a shot?
And this is Aim to Please.
Well, a woman like that's always a welcome sight. A little cowboy killer in her reach for the sky. Probably only in town for the rodeo tonight. Looking for a fast lane, I'd be wary of her kind. She got a hanky in her back pocket, Wrangler jeans, and a crop top tee that says buy local beef. Steal your heart like a bandit and leave. She's gonna shoot to kill and aim to please.
How'd you come about with the lyrics? Because, I mean, they're a little catchy.
Yeah, so I started writing it maybe 5 years ago at the Sanders County Fair in Plains. And I've always just been a huge fan of rodeos, county fairs, just love the atmosphere. I did 4-H growing up, sold pigs. And yeah, just kind of wanted to write something that spoke to that, and always wanted to use buy local beef in a song, because got a lot of family friends and family members that are ranchers, so.
So, with your lyrics, I mean, some of the songs, Freezer Full, it's about you going hunting and filling up that freezer. I mean, Bread and Water, about the girl that just wasn't interested. I mean, they're songs that we can all relate to, but they're creative lyrics, and they seem to hit home for you.
Yeah, no, like I said, I've always loved the songwriting part the most, and also right when I started getting into performing in songwriting, I felt like the country music in general on like country radio was just playing a lot of kind of cookie cutter stuff that all felt like it had the same storyline, and I wanted to do something a little more original, and especially with the hunting and fishing. I mean, that's such a big part of my life and a lot of Montanans' lives, and I was like, why aren't there more songs about that? You know?
Well, you talked about the rodeo and just Montana life in general, and this Thursday you're getting to play at the world-famous Miles City Bucking Horse Sale, and Gary Allen, who's a household name, and you get to open that night. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, this Thursday. I mean, I've been wanting that one for a while, ever since I started hearing stories about the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale, and when I started performing and heard about a concert, I reached out and have been trying for a couple of years, and we finally won the voting process this year, and we're all excited to play for it, yeah.
Well, and not just Gary Allen, but you get to open for Clint Black, which is I mean, that's a legend right there in Dillon. And again, you get to do all this in your home state, right in your backyard. Is that kind of, I mean, do you have to pinch yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's surreal. Clint Black especially is kind of like, in my eyes, is country music Hall of Fame legend, big inspiration for me with songwriting stuff too. So I opened for him last summer solo up in Great Falls, and his band was so good, so I can't wait to hear them and open for him again. And then also found out we're playing up in Calgary during the Stampede with Braxton Keith too.
Wow, now that's cool. I mean, for anybody that's ever gone to that, I mean, that's the king of rodeos pretty much.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out when I listened to a lot of your songs, it's the guitar picking, but also you're a storyteller. Is that important to you?
Oh yeah, big time. That's probably my most important thing with what I'm doing is storytelling. My big inspirations are guys like Marty Robbins, Keith Whitley, George Strait, I think those guys tell incredible stories. Jason Isbell is another one. And I also think that there's a responsibility in that too. So once you get like a little bit of a following, you have a lot of ears listening to what you're saying. And so you can tell a story, you can tell a story people want to hear, you can tell a story people relate to, but I don't really want to be just a cookie cutter kind of songwriter.
Well, there's a lot of creativity in your running, and so I'm going to put you on the spot. Can we hear a little medley or a few other things in that storytelling?
Yeah, sure. I'll do a little bit of Bread and Water. Mid-July, another honky-tonk bar. Pretty bulk of bunnies and Daisy Dew. I sneak away and smoke a cheap cigar. I'm still strung out over you. Staring out upon the open plains. Longest drought in 24 years. The dead brown grass is yearning for the rain. I sympathize and shed a tear. Why did I tell you how I felt? Now I'm starving and living in a hell. Oh, the things you do to me are all I want and all I need. You're my bread and water. The scar you left is fading slow. It don't make sense, yet I know that I still want you. It's Bread and Water.
And you got to tell the folks at home, there's a story behind that.
Oh yeah, there's a story behind that. If you listen to the song, you'll hear the story behind
I mean, it's the girl that kind of got away, I guess, right?
Yeah.
When you, I believe I heard you correctly, you said there's a responsibility with this, the songwriting and the storytelling, but you also got to have fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Where does that kind of, that line come where it's like, man, I'm telling stories because I'm the voice for everybody else? Because the names that you listed, I mean, those are old school names that really hit the heart. Like Keith Whitley was a great one, emotional songwriter. When you kind of refer to those guys, where do you kind of see it in yours? Because you're still creating your own identity too.
Yeah.
Is it in the finger picking? Is it in the storytelling? What is it?
I think it's in the storytelling and trying to be a voice for small town Montana. That's probably my favorite thing about places I play is the small towns where there's no high school or there's one bar and there's only a few buildings in town. Like, I love those places. I love the people there, and performed in a few states now, and I think most people would tell you that Montana's got some of the most kind-hearted people, and I agree with that. I lived in near Salt Lake for a little bit doing a civil engineering internship, and people down there were great, and I liked it, but when I came back to Montana, it was just, there's no place like it. And
I can't disagree with you. This is the ninth state I've lived in, and everybody's been just so kind and just outgoing and just making sure that I'm enjoying Montana. And whether it's like, have you skied yet? You know, do you hunt? Do you fish? And all, just making sure that I enjoy everything that Montana has to offer. We've got a minute. What's something that's coming up that we mentioned two of the concerts, but what else is kind of big? I know you just came back from Texas. You're playing here locally. Anything that you want to let the viewers know, how to find your music, but also shows coming up?
Yeah, the new single that I just recorded, Aim to Please, is now out on all streaming platforms. And also just want to say, first of all, glory to God for giving me the gift and giving me the ability to share it with people. And also want to shout out my band members, Eric and Owen and Sam and Marco and Jeff and anybody that's been playing with me the last few years and helped me get in front of some bigger crowds and play my songs. So just thank you guys so much. And you can find my tour wherever I'm playing on my website, TanorLawsMusic.com.
And when is the next venue that you're playing? Because I know Thursday I mentioned the Bucking Horse. Is that the next?
Yep, Thursday we're in Miles City at the Miles City Bucking Horse Sale. And then Friday we're playing down in Cody, Wyoming And then Sunday, we're playing up in Big Sandy. And we'll be back in Missoula on May 23rd at the Sunrise Saloon. So that'll be our next full band gig around here. And we'll also be back in Missoula for the rodeo weekend. We're playing around here too.
Well, Tanner, I appreciate you taking the time to join us. And Mitchell, as I toss things over to you for weather, it might be a gloomy day, but this guy here just brought some sunshine into this studio because that was a lot of fun.
I 100% agree.